Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Listen, everything is about mindset. Today is Mindset Monday. I wanted to make sure that you begin your week with setting your mind to things that are above, things above being peace, love, joy, God. All of the good thoughts that will come into your heart and your mind are the things that are from above. The Bible tells us that we are to think on what is noble, what is true, what is pure, think on such things. So those are the things above that we are to think about. However, what I absolutely know is that most of us struggle with fear. And so this morning, literally, I woke up with God saying to me, talk to them about the scripture that says, fear not, for I am with you. Fear not, for I am with you. How often does it feel like God is not there, that He's not with you? How often are you consumed with fear? And even in the way of our relationship. So I started this month, or even though this is the end of the month, talking about relationships. And I want to talk to you even today about how fear can show up in our relationships. Many times we are convinced that the way we're thinking about something, the way we see a thing is that we're right. We're all guilty of it. We tend to make ourselves the measuring stick to life. So we think and we believe deeply that if other people would see it the way we see it, if they did it the way we wish to do it, then everything would be okay. That we are the measure for what is right and what is good. Here's the thing, we're not. We are flawed. Many times we don't see life the way it is. We see life the way we are. And what I mean by that is I want you to think about the idea that, like with my glasses, because I really do need them to be able to see clearly. However, if I had on a pair of sunglasses and the tint in the glasses were like a red tint or a blue tint, I would see everything around me in that tint of red and blue. So many times we are seeing things from the tint of our hurt, our pain, our discomfort, our trauma, our what I call our soul wounds. We are seeing the world from the perspective of that place. So therefore, we think that the way we see things and do things is right because maybe we've been using the different mechanisms to keep us what we perceive as safe. And being safe and being guarded, we have decided that this is the way it is and everyone needs to move and think like this. But what that does in a relationship, it begins to build barriers. It creates a space where maybe no one is talking to each other. Perhaps you're the person who says everything you want to say, but then you don't allow time for your spouse to say anything. I remember going to a conference years ago. It was a conference with Pastor T.D. Jakes and other speakers. And one of the speakers talked about how women and men are wired differently. That if you compare it to like appliances or to the internet per se, this teacher said that women are more like Wi-Fi. We think fast. Everything goes really fast for us. But men are more like dial up. And for those of you guys who may be new or young watching this, you may think, what is dial up? Well, dial up is where the internet started. And it will take a really long time for things to process and download. And so from the understanding of the way this teacher was explaining it is that men just take longer to process things, not because they're slower, not because they're not as intelligent. They just really take the time to process the information that's being presented. And for us as women, because we think that we are processing quickly, and we do process quicker. However, we don't always contemplate the outcome of what we might do, right? I don't think we can always control the outcome, but many of us are so quick to pop off or fly off out of handle, out of our emotions, and then later regret what we've said and done. And that because we haven't taken the time to slow down enough to really think about and give the right attention to the words we're saying. And so when that happens, when there's a disagreement in the relationship, and this relationship doesn't have to be husband, wife, boyfriend, and girlfriend. It can be a relationship with friends and family. When the disagreement happens, the hurt, the pain, the disappointment shows up, many of us, instead of knowing how to talk about it, how to discuss it, we go quiet. And we don't talk to the person we have a problem with. We talk to people around the people that we have a problem with. And so we begin to build offense in our heart. We begin to be offended and stay in that level of offense where now fear creeps in. Satan uses fear to tell us all the things negative about the person. And this is happening in so many ways of our lives. Perhaps you have the dream and there's something you truly want to do. And I'm guilty of this. And there's something you need to learn or do differently, or maybe it's a door you need to walk through or call you need to make. Well, fear will hold you or will paralyze you, convince you of why you shouldn't do it, while it's not going to work out. And that's what happens when like fear gets involved in anything. It literally robs us of opportunities, joy, peace, love. It ruins things. So I want you to get to a place where you can begin to control the fear instead of allowing the fear to control you. So this morning I want to offer you just 3 ways that you can begin to navigate fear, particularly like in your relationships, in the area of your dreams, just any area of your life that you feel is dominated by fear. And remember, fear shows up in different ways. Fear could feel like rejection, the belief that you're going to be left out, the belief that nobody cares. Those really are fears. And so I want you to start recognizing that fear is a thought. It is a thought that is really permeated in beliefs that things aren't going to go your way. It's a thought that will hold you hostage because it thinks it's keeping you safe, right? If I don't say nothing, then they can't say the thing to me that I think will hurt me. And we don't like to go that far. We think I'm not saying anything because they owe me something. And you think somehow you're punishing a person by not talking to them. But if you're real honest, you are being punished by withholding yourself from having communication with the person that you care about. I remember hearing Tony Robbins say that we were created for love. As humans, we are created for love. And so withholding our love can be one of the most painful things. But many times we do that, particularly in relationships, because somehow we think it gives us the power. But the truth is we are afraid to say, I'm sad. I am hurting. I'm disappointed. This breaks my heart. I'm scared that this relationship isn't progressing, that things are turning out the way they are. So I want you to recognize first and foremost that the fear is just a thought. And when you realize that I am thinking these things about the person, about the situation, I want you to start asking, is this true? Is it true that they are the person I say they are? That they are a liar, that they don't listen, that they are stupid, that they are vengeful, whatever those things are, ask yourself, is it true? Now, that doesn't mean you may have not had an experience with the person where they did lie, or they are angry, or they do yell. But I just want you to get real honest about the story, the thoughts that you've built against the person in all honesty. Like, are they concretely true, or did they do one thing and then have you built this whole story about them because of the one thing? Because here's how you can find out if what you think about the situation or the person is true. Ask. Have the conversation. So not too long ago, I was around a friend and um, she was doing some things that was bothering me, to be honest with you. And so when I got home by myself, sitting around just watching TV, my mind started telling me all the negative things about this young woman. She's not this, she's not honest, she's not truthful, she's just trying to use you, like all these things. And I thought, oh my God, I am building offense in my heart against her. I got up and I said a prayer, and I called and I said, hey, I'm building this offense in my heart and mind against you because my mind is telling me these stories about you. Will you tell me, is this true? And she goes, oh my God, no, this is what's happening. And so I gave her the opportunity to clear it up. But listen, had I just listened to those messages in my mind, had I just allowed that offense to build, even in my marriage at times, Andre and I can have some really hard conversations, and my mind would be like, he's mad at you. He now he was wrong, you were right, he need to get over it. Like, I'll start building messages, and I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do that. I'll ask my husband, are you upset? He might say no. I was like, well, it feels like you're upset. Or, when you did that, I thought you were still upset. And if he says no, I have to hold on to his no. And what he's taught me is, Kenesha, it's going to take me some time to process. So I need you to give me time. And that might be a day, it might be 2 days. But while he's processing, I work really hard not to build up stories in my heart and mind about him that's negative, or tell myself that he's thinking negative things about me. Because believe it me or not, believe it or not, we will get around to having the conversation. And whatever things he's thinking, positive or negative, he will eventually tell me. So in that time of not knowing, I choose not to build a story, and I don't allow my mind to create what I call I don't let the mind monsters tell me negative things about my husband. That's not because I'm super great or I'm super saved. That's because it took a lot of work to learn that that's how the enemy gets into our marriages. He builds this offense in our mind against our spouse. So when that's happening, I want you to stop the thoughts and ask yourself, is it true? The second thing I want you to do is offer yourself a different story. Remember that fear is just a thought, or just a story that's been created by a bunch of thoughts that, for the time in the moment, you are believing. So if you're believing they don't care, they don't love me, they did that to hurt me, and you're not willing to ask, tell a different story. Tell the story of when they did care. Tell the story of, I know they love me. I know they love me because they always show up for me. I know they love me because when they're out and about, they always think of me too. Until you are willing to have the conversation about the thing that's creating the fear, I want you to start creating a different story, because what's happening in your mind is a story, and you're holding on to the negative story. So you have the power and the right to create a new and positive story. So once you develop a new story, right, let those emotions calm down, fear goes away. Now you can have a better conversation. And lastly, what does God say? So you fear is what Satan says, what the world says, is all the negative, and you know that it's just a thought. You now know that once you ask the question, is it true? You may have an opportunity to discover that no, what you're thinking isn't true. When you can't ask the question, they're not there to defend themselves. You could choose a different thought about the person. You can reflect on a time when things were better between you all, that maybe they're not that bad of a person. Maybe they're not crazy. Maybe like it's me. Like, I don't like this process, and so instead of know how to communicate this, all of my fear rush up, and so I'm pouring out. Okay, so this is not a bad person. It's me. Different story. This is what I'm doing. I'm practicing a different story, and then what does God have to say about this situation? Where is God in it? Where's love? Where's peace? Where's joy? Do all you can to get to that place, so that fear has to move out of the way, and it opens up a door for more communication, more connectedness, which is what we all truly desire. So I pray this helped you. I pray that, like, my story didn't get all over the place. My goal was to share with you, fear not. Life can be challenging, relationships can certainly be tough, but what we don't want to do is ruin a relationship or not pursue the things that we desire in life, simply because we are afraid and we're allowing fear to orchestrate and manipulate the situation. I want you to learn to take fear captive, because it's a thought, and then move from love, peace, and joy. I hope you have a wonderful day. Will you do me a favor? Will you like, share, and subscribe to my videos? And will you let your friends know about me? Thank you so much. I'm Kenesha Berry. I would love to see you on this Sunday at on my workshop called Think Your Way to a Better Marriage. You do not have to be married to be a part of it. However, you do have to get my book. So I look forward to hearing from you. If you're the person watching this and you think, I need some help, feel free to reach out at verythoughtfullife.com. Have a great day.